Welcome to the Sibling Rivalry MMA Podcast. We're back. We got a big card, biggest card of the year probably. I'm excited to talk about it. Fight Island, we're here.
Yeah, Fight Island's finally happening. 3 title fights. They saved the Masvidal fight with a fight that most fans seem more excited about. Actually, everybody seems more excited about. I was happy that Burns was getting a shot. It was pretty cool, but everybody's wanting to see Masvidal fight Usman. So we'll get into that. Burns tests positive for COVID. And you said Pedro Munhoz did too, right?
Yeah, different card, but he did too, so he's not fighting Frankie. I think is next week or maybe probably next week because a lot of those guys are already down there.
Yeah.
So COVID's starting to get some of them, but
not all of them.
Not most of them. Still a good percent. Yeah. So yeah, before we talk about the fights, Fight Island's finally here. I feel like we've been talking about that since like March or April at least. Whenever the COVID stuff started happening, and it's finally here, and they're fighting in a smaller cage. They've been posting pictures of a cage on an island, and I've seen some guys working out in it, but I have a pretty good feeling that that's not where they're going to fight. They haven't said, but that seems kind of dumb to be fighting outside, right?
They might, though. I mean, they're just changing everything. Like, all right, you're going to fight in a smaller cage, and it's going to be outside. Good luck, everybody.
Yeah. So when they fought in Abu Dhabi, I remember the first time Frankie fought BJ, I think it was like an open roof. So, fighting outside might not be a big deal, but I don't know, changing all those elements, making it a smaller cage and making it, it's probably going to be extremely hot out there. That just seems kind of weird to me, but...
Yeah, and the smaller cage, that definitely changes a lot, especially, could change a lot for that Usman-Masvidal fight, I feel like.
Yeah, probably would help Usman. We'll get to that fight later. First off, Amanda Ribas versus Paige Van Zant. Paige Van Zant is back. I feel like she hasn't fought in a while. She has broken her arm like 2 times in the last couple of years. Her last fight was against Ostovich in 2019, in January 2019, so about a year and a half ago. She's fighting Amanda Ribas. She's 9-1, coming off a win over Rando Marcos, which, if you don't remember, she's the girl with red hair that fights. She's like 10-9. She also beat Mackenzie Dern, so she's pretty good. I don't really have a great prediction for this fight because, I don't know, it's hard to tell with Paige Van Zant. I feel like she sucks.
Yeah.
She has a big name.
I'm kind of just like a casual fan when it comes to women's MMA, I feel like. Just be sure to add Paige Van Zant's OnlyFans. That's all I really have for this one.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Ribas because, she's shown that she's pretty good, and I don't think Van Zant's that good, and 2, I don't think her head's all the way in it. A lot of lightning. I don't know if you guys just heard that, but yeah, I don't think she's very good. Her head's not in it. She's been talking about how she could be making way more money not fighting and all this stuff. I don't know. I'm not a Paige Van Zant fan. I don't like her very much.
Paige Van Ant.
Yeah, she's not it. I'm gonna go with Ritas. All right, now on to the good fights. They gave us one freaking dud.
This is a girl fight I like.
Yeah, no, big fan of this fight. Can't wait. A lot of backstory between us with this fight. Jessica Andrade, Rose Namajunas.
They're fighting outside, might as well be concrete.
Yeah. Andrade last time was getting whooped when they fought for the belt and then slammed her on her head and knocked her out. And then she lost her belt to Zhang. Rose has not fought since then, so it's really, how good is Rose going to look? It's a 3-round fight. In my opinion, Rose is a much better fighter. Probably maybe the best women's striker in that division. I don't know. I could see her getting caught again, though.
Yeah. I'm going with Rose. I think she'll beat her. As long as they avoid all the concrete and she doesn't get slammed on her head, then she should be good. She's a lot better than Andrade.
Yeah.
By a lot.
No, she is. I think she'll win, too. I'm going to go with her. Just, again, as long as she doesn't get caught. I don't think they're going to be in one of those slam situations again because that's just so odd.
Yeah. She's a head case, but, I think she's going to be just fine.
Yeah. I think the smaller cage will help Andrade, though, because Rose is going to limit her movement. She likes to move around a lot, and if it gets any grappling exchanges, Andrade will be able to go to the cage a little easier. So I think that does go in favor of Andrade. I'd like to see who the favorite is for this fight. I'm not sure. I would think it's Rose. I'm going to pick Rose, but Andrade isn't a bad bet on this one.
You're talking.
Yeah, so we'll move on from that one. I'll start talking about this while you pull up the odds. First title fight of the night. Peter Yan, however you say his first name. I think it's like Pieter, something like that. I don't know. Versus Aldo. This is a fight for me that... This is probably the closest fight on the card for me.
Yeah, I'm not sure who to pick.
A lot of people are really high on Jan. I think he's really good too. I just watched his fight with Faber a couple days ago. But he hasn't fought the best guys. He does have a lot of power. But I don't know. Aldo still is really good. Like, before the Aldo fight, I feel like most people would pick Marlon Moraes to beat Jan before he fought Aldo because he was a monster. And Aldo, he lost the fight, but he beat him in most people's opinions.
Yeah.
And he looked really good. So, I mean, he's still not out of it. He didn't get knocked out. He took a really big head kick and was fine, so the weight cut didn't seem to affect him. The 5-round fight, I don't know who will benefit from that more. Aldo has struggled. I mean, he wins the 5-round fights, but he does fade away late in the fights.
Ooh.
So, I mean, maybe with that weight cut, it might hurt him. I don't know. I think for betting, I'm going to go with Aldo because the odds are going to be pretty big against him.
Aldo's a plus 192.
Yeah. I don't know. I almost do want to pick Aldo, but I just can't. Like, it's so hard for me to see him having another belt, like winning a title this late in his career.
But, I mean, he's not fighting Henry Cejudo, though. This is a vacant belt, which I think the vacant belt should have already been fought for when Aljamain fought. I think this is a really winnable fight for Aldo. But then again, I don't actually know how good Jan is because his biggest win is Uriah Faber. Yeah. So it's hard to really say. But the fact that Aldo looked that good against Marlon, I mean, it makes it a lot harder to pick against him for me, against a guy that's not really proven yet. But that doesn't mean that he can't beat him because I remember when Aldo fought a guy that I wasn't really sold on and he got knocked out in 13 seconds. So...
Yeah, that wasn't the case for me. I thought Conor was going to win that fight. But, I mean, Jan, he has power, but he hasn't knocked out a lot of the guys he's fought. He didn't knock out John Dotson. He didn't knock out Jimmy Rivera. He knocked out Uriah Faber, who was old and hadn't been fighting and all that stuff. So, I don't know. Like, I could definitely see Jan knocking him out. He has a lot of power, and maybe Aldo's chin is going to be gone. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just kind of, in my head, I feel like I'm going to pick Aldo in this one.
I'm going to go with Aldo on a half-blind pick here, basically.
That's a tough one. Like, if he can use his leg kicks and just not get hit with huge shots, and maybe Jan's not as good as we think. That's another thing. Like, we know how good Aldo is. We don't really know how good Jan is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I will say, he was smacking Faber with some pretty crazy shots, especially out of the clinch. Like, they'd break clinch and he'd smack him with the elbow. They'd break clinch and he front kicked him and knocked him out. Like, he is really good.
He looks good.
I don't know.
Is he as good as Aldo?
How big of an underdog is Aldo?
Aldo's plus 192. And Jan's minus 240.
What about Rose and Andrade?
You want to just go through all the odds at the end? We'll give some bets and parlays and stuff.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, moving on. Volkanovski versus Holloway.
Yeah, this is like, obviously, everybody thinks Holloway deserves a rematch just because he had the belt for so long. But I don't see how this fight can go that much different for him. I mean, he got his ass beat.
I thought so too, but a lot of people think he won that fight.
But I think those people are delusional. It seems like everybody thinks Holloway's fights are closer than they are.
Yeah.
I also think that the commentators are really biased for Holloway.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they'll, praise everything he does, and then he can be getting his ass beat, and they just are like, man, I wish there was more action.
I agree with that. Well, who's going to be commentating this? Is DC there? Probably not. Because DC loves him.
DC will probably be there.
I don't know. He's training for a fight. I don't think he's going to be in Abu Dhabi.
I don't know who's going to be there. I mean, not Rogan.
Yeah, fuck. I don't know who it's going to be. Hopefully Bisping.
Yeah.
I love Bisping.
Yeah, I like Bisping too. Probably Cruz. Dominic Cruz.
I don't like Cruz, but anyway.
Yeah, Volkanovski beat his ass, and I think he's going to do it again.
Yeah. I agree. The Max thing, like, a lot of people thought Max won that fight, and I thought Volkanovski dominated him.
It was not a close fight. I didn't, as far as I remember.
Yeah. I haven't seen it since it happened. I didn't rewatch it. But, the same thing when Max fought Poirier, I thought Poirier fucking beat his ass, and a lot of people thought Max won that fight, too. Max will get 100, all the hard shots landed on him, and then he'll land, a few jabs, and people are like, oh, it's close. I don't know. I agree. I don't see it going much different. I definitely think Volkanovski's going to win this fight. He's just really good. Max is really good, too. He's probably maybe the best ever at that weight class, but I don't know. And it seems like a stylistic match, this should be good for Max because Volkanovski's so short and Max has such good range on him. And I don't know. I think Volkanovski's just better. He tore him up with leg kicks last time. I think he'll do the same thing. And it's concerning that Max hasn't actually seen his cornermen or his trainers until they flew to Abu Dhabi. That was the first time he's seen them.
Is that true?
Yeah, he's been training with them over like Skype and stuff.
That's interesting.
So he hasn't sparred, he hasn't done any of that. So I mean, that's a big thing on your range too. If you haven't been sparring, you're not going to be able to find your range very easily. So he might struggle the first few rounds to find his range as well.
I mean, Holloway's a lot better than this guy. We saw how Mike Perry looked without sparring. I mean, he won the fight, but he was punching like this.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I don't think Max will look bad in terms of how he's throwing his strikes, but I do think he's going to struggle to find his range since he hasn't been sparring at all. Assuming Volkanovski has been.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm going to go with Volkanovski by decision again. I'm sure it's probably going to be a fucking close fight where people are going to say the same thing and think Max maybe won, but I definitely don't see Max finishing him, so I find it hard for him to win this fight.
Yep. Agreed.
All right, main event. This is the easiest fight for me to pick,
too.
probably on the main card. Usman versus Masvidal. I think the small cage is going to help Usman a lot if he wants to wrestle. I really think Usman's better everywhere except for probably in terms of power. Like, I think he can probably outstrike him.
Usman might have better power.
I think he can outstrike him. I don't think he has better power, but
I don't know.
I think he'll outstrike Usman if he needs to. I think he'll out-wrestle him. I'm sure there will be a couple moments where they're both swinging and Masvidal lands some good shots, but I mean, Maya controlled Masvidal on the ground, so I think Usman will be able to do it too. I think he'll be in better condition. I just think he's better too. It's kind of like the last fight. Like, I think Usman's going to be able to do really whatever he wants. Usman's really good.
People forget Masvidal gets dropped. Like, he gets dropped like a lot. Like, yeah. Usman can drop him, and Usman can get on top of him and not get submitted, and he'll be fine. Like, yeah, this is. I mean, as long as Usman doesn't get caught with something crazy, like, I don't think he's gonna get hit with a flying knee. Yeah, I think this is easy for Usman.
Yeah, Usman doesn't get hit with a lot of big shots either. Like, Colby hit him a few times decent, but that's because Colby throws like 500 strikes. Colby just punched the whole fight, so he's bound to land some. I think Masvidal is going to struggle to hit him with any really good shots. Like, Usman might make this a boring fight. He might make it how he did with Woodley, like kind of hold him against the cage, throwing punches with holding his range and striking with Masvidal against the cage, wrestling Masvidal against the cage.
That's an option too. Yeah, he could do that too.
And he hasn't been training for Masvidal specifically, so he might just try to take it safe. I actually think Burns was a tougher fight for Masvidal.
I agree.
Burns has a lot of power. He's pretty good on his feet, and he's great on the ground. Great wrestling. Like, I wouldn't have been all that surprised if Burns beat Usman. But
I would have been surprised, but I still think it's...
I don't think Masvidal can. Unless he catches him with, some flying knee. Like, he does punch hard, but I don't remember him knocking out a lot of guys with punches besides Till.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Yeah, I think the hype is going to stop here. I mean, Masvidal he's good. I mean, there's still hype, but, like, this isn't Nate Diaz.
Yeah.
It's Kamaru Usman.
And in my mind, Masvidal's really only beat one really good guy, and that was Till.
Ben Askren.
Askren was okay. Askren was good, but yeah, I mean, Usman I think is just better all around, like I said. So yeah. I'm gonna go. I could see him finishing it. I think I'll take decision though. I think Masvidal's probably gonna be pretty tough to finish.
I could see him getting finished, but we'll see.
And like,
who knows what his conditioning's like, taking it so short. I don't know.
Yeah, the 6 days notice thing though. I did see somebody say this, and it kind of made me realize, yeah, it's true. Masvidal and Usman were training to fight each other.
Yeah.
For a while. And then Masvidal just, like, wouldn't fight because of pay. And now he's fighting. So, like, it's not like he hasn't game planned for Usman a little bit and wasn't training at all.
Yeah.
Like, he was doing some stuff.
Yeah, so, I mean, he knows who he's fighting. He knows what he needs to do.
So I'm sure he had a little bit of a game plan implemented already.
But the conditioning, I don't know. That could be anywhere.
Yeah.
All right, we can run through some of these odds here. Oh, yep, here we go. Usman, minus 300. Masvidal, plus 230. Volkanovski minus 215, Holloway plus 174. So it looks like people are agreeing with us so far. They have these odds all over the place. Ribas is a minus 950, and Paige Van Zandt is plus 600.
Alright, well there you go.
Yeah, we didn't know.
I don't know how good Ribas is. I know she beat Mackenzie Dern, and the girl that was with red hair that's 10-9. I don't know how good she is.
Rose Namajunas minus 198, Andrade plus 160. And Aldo's plus 192, Jan minus 240. Is that everybody?
That's the main card, yeah. I don't know.
So did we pick all favorites?
No, I picked Aldo.
I picked Aldo okay, so yeah.
But I mean, the rest, yeah. I don't know. I honestly might just do a parlay with my picks.
I think so too.
And I think I'm going to do a parlay with my picks and a parlay with my picks and Jan instead of Aldo.
I'm going to do a parlay with my picks. I'm going to leave the Van Zant fight off of there because, I mean, my pick is minus 950 and it's not worth it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll do a parlay with... Here, let's just see what it is. The odds, I'll do it right now.
Yeah. And also for this, on this card, they're going to announce some stuff about the UFC video game.
Yeah.
EA UFC 4. I've seen some leaked stuff of the cover. I don't know if it's real, but it had Masvidal and Adesanya on it, like in their street clothes and shit, and I thought it looked stupid, but it might be real. So they're going to release some stuff about that during the fights too.
So that parlay I just did is plus 759 odds. So that's pretty good. So, yeah.
With Rebus?
Rebus was like, I didn't put her in the parlay.
Put her in it and just see. Because sometimes with parlays like that, you can put it in there and get another 10 or 15 bucks out of it, maybe.
All right, so Usman, Volkanovski. Where did they spread out? All right, I'll throw Rebus in there. Rose and Aldo. And that makes it plus 849. So, depending on how much you want to bet, it could be worth it.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's our picks. Saturday, biggest card of the year. 3 title fights. Shout out Big Heads Media putting us on Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, all that good stuff. And we'll see you guys after the fights.